It's no secret that many of us, myself included, have had a love and hate relationship with 343 Industries. There's been a lot of things they've done really well. There's been a lot of things that they've failed horribly at. Halo Infinite is absolutely a clean slate, new hardware, new generation, new story, new engine, all these wonderful things, a chance to revitalize the Halo franchise into what I think has been the best shooter when it works the best. And I have to say, from a technical perspective, in terms of how it looks and most importantly, how it plays, they have absolutely nailed Halo Infinite. However, there are a lot of problems with the game, and it's by far from perfect. A lot of it has to do with progression, actually, and not just the stuff you get, but how you use it. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. There will be timestamps in this video below, so if you want to jump to a specific section, check out the description and jump to the piece you want to hear about. I might go a little long on this one because, as you know, I'm a fan, and that's what we do. We talk about things we like on this channel. I really think 343 has done a good job of salvaging what Halo Infinite's debut trailer was. That thing was picked on and made fun of, and rightfully so. It was not good. And even us super fans knew we were in trouble. 343 obviously doing to a lot of internal meetings and restructuring of the team, most notably getting rid of Chris Lee, replacing him with Joseph Staten, taking another year plus to kind of refine the game, to make it look better, to make it feel and play better. And this is the product we have, a shadow drop release of the multiplayer suite only. A very small subsection of that, I want to point out. You're going to get big team battle and you're going to get quick match. There's not a lot of customization yet to be had. However, you could get your hands on the game and begin playing in this kind of drip feed format, and I'm okay with that. You want to give me more Halo now and more Halo later? Great, I'll take it. I'm impatient. I don't want to wait till the end of mid-December. I want to get it now, and we got it. It runs phenomenally and it looks beautifully. I love the way that this game performs. I love the handling and the feel of all of the weapons. Yes, there can be balancing here and there. There are things that are a little suspect, like the shotgun, for example. I feel like it should do a little more damage, but sometimes it doesn't. There are instances where I feel there needs to be some tuning, of course. But overall, the look and feel of Halo, when you boil it down to the pivotal kind of triforce of Halo, you have guns, you have grenades, and you have melee. When you look at all three of those played through together, the game does a phenomenal job of making you feel like a super soldier, and most importantly, making you feel like you are making an impact in the battlefield. Now, unlike other first-person shooters, namely Call of Duty, where you are a one-man army, Halo rewards team play in a way that many games don't. The time to kill is greatly increased in Halo from other games. You'll look at me running and shooting at people for a considerable amount of time. I personally like that. I think you're not going to get these dopey sniper shots across the map. Yes, of course, you could still get one-shotted with a sniper round, but unlike Call of Duty, where there are guns that will just destroy you in a second or two, the time to kill in Halo has increased considerably. This means more skill is required in each engagement. This also means that teamwork takes a much more vital role. If you can get two teammates shooting at an enemy as opposed to one, you're going to burn them down quicker, and you're going to find that you work best when you work as a team. You work best when you have clear, defined shooting lanes. You're pushing objectives in clear, meaningful ways, and you're not just running out being a one-man army. You'll see in the clips that I'm showing you guys today, every single time I play Rambo, I pay the price for it. So very rarely do you get to be that hero that's just destroying everything. Typically, it's just a numbers game. And no matter how good you are, just like right there, no matter how good you are, you're going to lose a 2-on-1. And it's important to have situational awareness and map awareness. And I think that layer of complexity is what separates Halo from most contemporary first-person shooters. On top of that, obviously, it looks amazing. The guns are amazing. Everything feels smooth about it. The hit markers are clean and crisp. I don't feel like there's a lot of bullet magnetism. The map design is fun. The everything about it just seems like a great package. So if this is indicative of what we can expect for the campaign, which drops in about a month, a little less now, I think we're going to be in good shape. And I think that just the snippets of open world areas we see, particularly on the big team battle maps, indicate to me that 343 has taken this very, very seriously. And I'm happy for that. So I think we're in a good place there. And I think as fans, we have a solid foundation on which to grow and play and get lost in this game. And I know it's only been out for just a few short days, and that's exactly how I feel. I am just completely in love and lost with this experience. And just the fact that it's back, that it looks so well, that it's being so well received by all my peers, and that people are playing Halo and talking Halo. For me personally, it's very rewarding. But I think just as a fan of video games, this is a great video game that's going to push it's going to push the industry in different directions when it comes to competitive first-person shooters. And let's be honest, it's a tight space out there. You got games like Call of Duty, Battlefield 2042, which are big hitters in their own right, and Halo's going to have to compete against those and find its own voice and its own footing. And I think they're in a good place. But it's not all roses. I wish it was, but 343 can't do anything right. And once again, they trip over their own feet. This time it wasn't actually in the development of the game or the processing. I shouldn't say development. Development was a train wreck. It wasn't in the execution of the gameplay. It works great. Everybody loves it. It's in the progression, which to me is a softball solution, but thinking back to Microsoft, this is the same company that did the incessant amount of microtransactions on Forza years ago, where it would cost you thousands of dollars to buy all of the DLC, and where they want to monetize this game in a way they probably shouldn't have. Now, the fact that the multiplayer is free to play, as soon as I heard that, I was nervous. I knew that had financial connotations, and it does. And what you are going to see is a very big increase on monetization, and you're going to see a very big increase on that constant, hey, microtransaction, buy this, upgrade this, get the armor of the week, whatever, because they need to make money. I understand that. However, unfortunately, I think it is adversely affecting some of the regular progression of the game for people like me who don't necessarily want to buy every single skin in the game but would rather earn them, and people like me who just enjoy Halo for the love of Halo. There needs to be some sort of progression in place that is better than what we have now. And progression really boils down to not just the new things you get, but how you use those new things. A large part of Halo boils down to two parts. It's going to be weapon skins, and it's going to be your Spartan look, okay? Your weapon skins have always been very run-of-the-mill. I think Halo 5 Guardians showed us that you can put a weapon skin on just about anything, and people will be excited to get it. I remember for a very long time, my AR was a slice of pizza. It looked like pizza slices all over it. Very goofy, very nonsensical, but okay. You have your traditional AR skins. You also had like your pro teams that were part of the Halo Championship Series. They also had different skins you could buy, and every time you picked up a gun or got into a certain vehicle, it would transform into your specific skin or into your specific customization, and that was fun. They've taken it a little bit further now. They've added weapon charms. Most of the guns, have a little charm you can attach to them. Just it's simple, it's fun, it's basic. There's not much to it. The Spartan look, the look of your actual character, I think that's where most people really want to see some sort of evolution of the series. And 343 has promised us and has largely delivered on this idea of what they call a Spartan core. A Spartan core is basically your chassis, how your default look is. Think of the way a Spartan looked in Reach versus the way a Spartan looked in Halo 3. I could get nerdy with you on the lore and talk about Spartan 3s versus Spartan 2s and Mark 5 armor versus Mark 7 armor. That's basically what I'm referring to here. The problem is progression is tied to each core. So there is a base core in the game that you get that you can begin to unlock shoulder pads and color schemes and gauntlets and visors and helmets and chest pieces for. However, it's tied to that specific core. And what they have done is they have broken out the battle pass into these distinct cores. So you may unlock a really cool helmet, but you can't use it with the really cool gloves you just got. You're going to have to make a choice. Which core do you want to assign it to? I don't understand the logic behind this other than to artificially inflate the amount of customization you can have and the progression that is required. In theory, right now there are 3 cores that are available. In theory, if you wanted to, you could make that one helmet unlockable 3 separate times for Core 1, Core 2, and Core 3, which would have 3 separate battle pass slots to them, which would have 3 potentially different microtransactions associated with them to buy each of those. It's not a good look for what they are doing, and unfortunately what you end up having is the excitement of unlocking something new when it does happen. I'll get to that in a moment. The excitement of something new ultimately falls flat because you can't use it with your current loadout. It's a very baffling design choice, and it's one that I am very, very frustrated with. The other part of this too, and this is the big part, is not just the actual look of the progression, it's the progression itself. So remember when 343 made a big deal that Jeff Setzer, the voice of Halo, would be making his triumphant return in Infinite, and they got him to record all of his world famous lines, you know, double kill and ultra kill, right? I mean, he is Slayer. Everybody knows Jeff Setzer's voice, even if you don't know the name. You've heard him. He's back, and this is great. Unfortunately, all these wonderful things he's going to tell you that you're doing in the battlefield, getting overkills and double kills, and all these really cool, funny new ways to dispatch enemies, like using the repulsor beam and blasting them off a cliff, or doing a pancake where you repulsor beam somebody into a wall, or a grapple jack when you use the grappling hook to steal a warthog driving by. All these wonderful things you're going to do that would normally assign you points mean nothing because progression is not tied to your performance on the battlefield. Progression is tied solely to a list of random challenges that are assigned to you every day. Challenges could be get 25 kills with the sidekick pistol, or kill 10 enemies with the chain gun on the warthog. If you go 70-0, okay, and you are a beast among men, and you are killing everything around you, you do not die once, and you complete 0 challenges. Let's say you kill 70 people with the assault rifle, but your challenge was to kill 10 people with the sidekick pistol. You will receive absolutely no progression in your battle pass. None. Alternatively, somebody who logs in and does nothing to help the team, only focusing on their challenges, you know, intentionally throwing fights just so they could use a weaker gun like the sidekick as opposed to like a heavier power weapon, so that they can slowly chip away at their set of dailies. They will make more progression than you. They will get to unlock things faster than you for pure skill. This is absolutely, at its core, 100% broken. Why 343 felt the need to ship a game like this is, honestly, it's baffling. It's baffling. It does not make any sense to me as to why they would feel the need to deliver a game to us that had that glaring issue with it. But they did, and ultimately, we are suffering for it. Now, what has happened since launch, and launch is only just a few days ago. Keep in mind, guys, this game dropped on Monday. I'm recording this on Thursday morning. Is the community has completely raged out. Rightfully so, myself included. The Reddit is a quote-unquote dumpster fire. And a lot of people are very upset, taking to social media, saying, what the heck? Why are we not being rewarded for our progression? Which is a very valid question. So we do have a slight update to that. Unishek, who is the 343 community manager, he tweeted just last night, as 13 hours ago is the time of this recording, we will be adjusting, fixing bugs with, and removing some weekly challenges based on your feedback. These tunings to challenge the difficulty will help you progress through weekly challenges faster and thus directly speed up your progress through the Battle Pass. When we make this update, we'll need to reset your challenges, including your progress towards weekly ones. To make up for this, we'll be granting everyone the ultimate reward, the Mark 7 visor, to everyone who logs in between now and November 30th. Additionally, we'll be doubling the duration of 2 XP boosts to now last 1 hour as opposed to 30 minutes. We'll be watching these changes closely and make sure they have positive impact, but this is only our first step as we're committed to involve these systems. But it will take time. So, unfortunately, the way the double XP system works is that you get these tokens that allow you to have double XP. But since I just had mentioned that game performance is irrelevant, the only time you want to actually cash in a double XP is right before you complete a challenge. So, what a lot of players are doing is, let's say you have 20 sidekick pistols kills you need to get. They'll log into a game. They'll start playing. They'll get like 17 or 18 of them. They'll quit the game. They'll then go activate said double XP token, start a fresh match, and use the pistol to get the kills that they need. This is unhealthy for the game. This is unhealthy for the flow of the game, but this is how you're doing it, and this is the only way, and the proper way right now, to use a double XP token. Unlike, hey, I gotta sneak in as many games as I can and just dominate and be aggressive and go ham with the chain gun and with sniper rifles and all that wonderful thing. Nope. That's not how they want you to play their game. They want you to drive only the Battle Pass challenges. Very broken. I mean, I'm looking right now, it is still trending on Twitter how frustrated people are. I have no doubt in my mind this will be addressed in some capacity. Clearly, Unishack has mentioned that they've already started some implementation of changing the way you earn experience. However, it doesn't change the core problem with the progression. Now, why do I spend so long on progression? Well, that is the real question, isn't it? If you are going to implement a game that has a battle pass, if you're going to implement a system that has some sort of progression, a challenge to unlock something, a light at the end of the tunnel, you better make sure it's a valid way to progress. People will get bored and people will leave no matter how good your game is. This is what worries me. The gameplay of Halo is phenomenal, but when you look at the progression system that is married to it, they do not align. And ultimately what ends up happening is you have a very disjointed experience between the two progression system and the gameplay. And I think ultimately that's going to drive people away. You do not want to be that company that releases a battle pass that is almost impossible to unlock. Number one, no one will buy it. Number two, interest will wane on this game. And in a very competitive space with Call of Duty Vanguard and Battlefield, which are really faltering right now in their own right, this is a great opportunity for Halo to take the reins and to release a phenomenal package. Not just the gameplay, but in the progression too, that makes people want to come back and be proud to be a Halo fan. It will be interesting to see if they can pull this off. That's why I'm going to kind of mark this as a review in progress. Halo is very clear to drop the word beta again. They're constantly mentioning we're back in a multiplayer beta. They weren't really saying that before. They're saying that again, and that's fine. We're back in a multiplayer beta, I guess. We still have time to fix it. Obviously, it's a work in progress. But for now, be leery, but enjoy the game. I hope you guys found this early review informative. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.